Folks, we are at Digger's Dungeon.
Are you gonna do it?
Okay, today's synopsis is
Tahoe, $15,000 in cash. That's what you had the choice of.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just witnessed history.
All right, so while I was gone last week, they got the Durango back. Bob has started on that, so gonna take you through this week, my trip down to Dennis Anderson's shop. So gonna take you through that stuff, see the Gravedigger stuff, and just cool stuff. I mean, amazing that stuff down there, and learn a lot about the different things that go into the engine and other stuff there that takes us to the true hot rodder deal. Like, even if we're not in the monster trucks, I am in the monster trucks. I like monster trucks. So, but Bob continues on with the Durango, shows you some stuff there on what he's doing fabricating, because we really got to get this done. Like, we really got to get it to powder coat to then start to put the damn thing together and wire it. So Aydan takes you through the ship box. He gets the engine in the ship box. We got EJ. Is EJ working on? Oh, EJ's got the MFU, so that she is working on the wrap on. So that's what's going on there. And and then we got Rick. Rick, the winner of the Tahoe / $15,000 giveaway. He is in town, so we're going to take him to the pizza place. He's hanging out with us for a couple days. So he's gonna fly in, hang out with us, and either drive home or fly home. So we're not sure which yet. But so you meet Rich and figure out which he picks. Does he pick the money? Does he pick the Tahoe? So same point, go to our website. There's a lot of new merchandise over there. Get over, grab some new merchandise. I mean, all the shirt designs are in stickers now. So go get that stuff. Subscribe to the magazine. So all that good stuff. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll take you through it all. All right, we are on the way to the airport. Actually, we're pulling into the airport to pick up Rick, the winner of the February contest. So we do not know yet whether he's taking the Tahoe we're driving or he's taking the 15 grand in cash. So we'll figure that out. But first, we got to pick him up for the airport, take him back to the shop. We're gonna go get some sick pizza tonight, and whatever, hang out with him and basically see. He's coming from Utah. So if you are not Rick and sitting at the airport waiting for us to pick you up, I'm sorry, but you did not win the Tahoe or the 15 grand. But we are going to grab him and, like I said, bring him back to the shop, and he's hanging out with us tonight and then all day tomorrow at the shop, and then we'll get him back to the airport tomorrow. So, and or we're giving him the keys and he'll be driving home tomorrow. So one or the two, we don't know which. So that's what we got. Meet Rick soon.
How you doing?
Hi. Good, I'm Rick.
I'm Brian.
Hi, I'm Rick.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Tom.
to meet you.
This is B. So
This is great.
it is.
Thank you.
All right, so we are in downtown Oxford heading to Sick Pizza, but Rick,
Hey.
the winner of the Tahoe, in town, flew in, so we're taking him on the tour. So he's gonna be at the shop tomorrow, but today or tonight, we're getting some pizza. So we're gonna head over to GrabCab, grab some pizza, and yeah.
Great pizza.
When in Rome, do like the Romans. You can't say great pizza yet, because officially he didn't eat it. He's gonna eat it in a second. Actually, we already ate it, so we're backwards
great
filming.
pizza.
So, but we figure we get in front of the pizza place, so you know that he got the full experience when he came in town. So flew in from Utah, so Salt Lake City. So we're rolling in the hotel to pick up Rick. He got in yesterday. Went out to pizza place last night. Had a few ciders, so picking him up and heading back to the shop, and he gets to spend the day with us. So there he is.
Good morning.
Morning, Rick.
Morning.
How'd you sleep?
Good. Good.
Like a baby?
Yeah, I was tired.
Still in the wrong time zone?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Rick here with us from Utah. So flew in yesterday, went out and had some pizza. So he's been hanging out in the shop all day today. We're getting ready to head over to M1 where he's got to make his final decision. So he's got to pick whether he's picking the money or he's picking the Tahoe. So that decision's coming up over at M1. But he's been helping. Has he helped you in the shop at all today?
Yes.
What did he do?
Yeah, he was welding up some of the chassis in there.
He did help take the blower. We picked up the blower.
We did help Aydan take the blower off of the motor.
So there you go.
But yeah, he was bending some sheet metal and bead rolling some stuff in the back.
Right.
Yeah, see that panel right there? He did that panel right there, so
Looks good.
it looks pretty good.
Oh, is that a kink?
It's not bad. Yeah, because there's a panel that goes down and a panel that goes up to follow the chat. Just whatever.
Either way, though, so he's a contest winner. So, like I said, he got in yesterday. So that's been hanging out in the shop all day. Have you had a good time?
Oh, great time.
So,
Yeah. Our little tour this morning was wonderful.
so, yep, that'll be in an upcoming video. So we did get a little sidetracked on a normal excursion,
yeah.
that we do. But you'll see that future thing that Rick was there for that. So he sees that all our stuff's not made for TV. Literally, it is just what we do all the time. So,
Yeah,
It was great.
just fun time all the time.
But, so there you go. We're going to head over to M1. Thanks for watching, guys. All right, so the whole 2 days, Rick flew in from Utah yesterday, so you've seen us around town. He's been hanging out the shop, went out to the pizza place last night, but now it's decision time. It comes down to whether he picks the tricked out Tahoe, was down at Sick Week, Edelbrock Supercharger on it, Mickey Thompson tires, so just a badass cool ride, which we've been driving around for the 2 days. We picked him up from the airport in it, been in for 2 days, or the $15,000 in cash. So you know that the entire month of February was the contest month. So if you were a subscriber to the magazine, you got entries. If you were a new subscriber to the magazine, or if you were a current subscriber to the magazine, you automatically got entries for being a subscriber. Then new subscribers also got entries. Also merchandise, whether you got the hoodie or the hat or any of the merchandise off the website, that got you entries. It went in the entire month of February. So the response was amazing for everybody who wanted to win the contest. And Rick went on and he got merchandise off the website. So that got him his entries, and through all the legal stuff and the lawyers and all that stuff, gets us to the point to where then Rick is the winner. So Rick flew in yesterday, like I said, driving around or whatever, but now it comes down to decision time. Tahoe, $15,000 in cash. That's what you had the choice of. Tahoe, $15,000 in cash.
It was a tough decision, especially after he picked me up in the Tahoe.
So,
But in the end, I decided the cash is a better deal for me. So that's, wow, what a vehicle.
so
And it's been such a great experience. I can't thank these guys enough. So
Rick is $15,000 in cash.
yeah.
So
Hard to believe, to tell you.
did you think he was going to pick the cash, or did you think he was going to pick the Tahoe? So, but he's taking the cash. That means we still have the Tahoe. So now the question is, what do we do with the Tahoe? So, tell you what, let's look and see, does anybody have any good trades, anything they would like to trade for the Tahoe? Because maybe we'll do a trade for the Tahoe so that we get something different that we can work with and do some different stuff with, because we did use the Tahoe for what we wanted to use it for. So let's look at trades.
You won't be disappointed.
Hit us up with some trades. street car stuff.
I would have came just to ride in this.
Well, shit. Give me that money back then.
I would have.
I didn't. Oh, they give you the bill for the ride yet.
Oh man.
All right now I am building the windshield support because this is the factory windshield. We're not going to run that because we have to cut out for the supercharger. So I built a lower frame to fit the factory stuff. Then I'm going to build some other supports that come out, and we're going to have like a box here that the supercharger will sit in and seal the window to the box. It'll have tin or carbon sides, whatever I come up with. And then these are vertical supports that will help keep the windshield from caving in at higher speeds. So this stuff is 1/2 inch moly. These will be 3/8 moly. There'll be some other framework that comes up off of the dash bar. This will all get tinned in here, and that's kind of what we consider the dash. I don't know if I'll leave the master here, move it around. I don't know. That was temporary so we could go do show car shit with the thing, and it had brakes. So that might disappear and move somewhere else. I added some more bars in here because we went from mediocre horsepower to a whole lot more. So I'm just making sure that we don't have any issues with buckling tin and the chassis flex in here with the bigger motor and all that crap. So probably wind up cutting all the bracketry off up there for the new motor because I think it's probably going to be a little longer. I could be wrong, but we're not going to reveal that new engine yet. It'll be another surprise. Okay, today's synopsis is making templates for tin work and a mount for the battery tray to be supported off the rear section of the chassis, so it just kind of floats over the tin. That way everything's not really connected together and can be removed if need be. But there'll be some, this will probably fall apart, but there'll be some supports, diagonal supports as it's falling apart, that will run up and attach to the top to hold the batteries. We're running lithium batteries so they don't weigh nothing. And this tray will be mounted to this tube and then attached to these nuts. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now. Do you like it? Does it look sweet?
Love it.
Love it. Okay, cool.
Saturday, I was here, put the engine in the shit box. That was it. But yeah, so got it back from Steve's, put the mid plate on it. I actually put the mid plate in the car, put the motor plate on the front of the engine. Went to go put it in. The pins didn't want to shove into the engine. Then looked for the transmission bolts. Then couldn't find any. So then I just got some random bolts. So now we have some ordered. Because turns out when you take something apart and then move it 42 times, then wait 6 months, you lose a couple things. So missing 2 flex plate bolts somehow, and all the bell housing bolts to go from the transmission to the engine. So was then able to get that pulled in up the rest of the way. Then put the headers on. Forgot how the turbos hung, so that took me a little bit to try and remember how the hangers worked and everything. But was able to get those in, and hopefully the thing's running here soon. Need a converter first though. So if any of you know LS converters, I do not. So I need help.
All right, so we are at Gravedigger headquarters. This is where it all started?
Yes, well, actually it didn't first start here, but this is, I mean, it's been here for over 30 years.
Okay.
The operation has.
Because I know I came past like here like 5-6 years ago, and that's when you were still building all the monster trucks here, because these doors
Yes.
were open. There was monster trucks under construction here.
That's
so,
right.
and I mean, I don't think we need to say his name, but Dennis Anderson obviously Ryan, his son, taking us through a lot of the stuff. But so this soon-to-open museum that
Yeah.
takes you through the whole story of the Dennis Anderson story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
And really, and it just tells a story. And even if you don't listen to, the story, you can almost put it together. But we have a new generation of people. They just think Gravedigger was created from maybe God or something. I don't know. But
It's been around so
like it's
long.
always been here
It's been
for
around
so
so
long.
long.
And and essentially, it really got started from a tank of gas. And it was me giving a kid a ride. And it's a long story, but anyway, I gave him a ride. He gave me a tank of gas. We become best buddies. We get in a mouth fight, and with a few choice words, so I'm gonna take this junk, dig you a grave. Spray bombed on the side of an old truck that I had, and I did dig him a grave out on the farm. The little grudge match we had with all the farm boys, and I've been the grave digger ever since. But that's how I got started.
So, and what's cool here is it does take it through all the different steps. So it takes you through all the different progressions of everything, and basically what it is today. And
Yeah.
like now it's like Gravedigger's officially part of Monster Jam, and
You're
that's,
right.
that's its whole thing. But obviously, I mean, do you still run it all at Monster? Do you still go to any?
Yeah,
of
yes,
Monster?
yes.
Okay.
I
So-
go to them, and I'll go to them like usually I'm at the World Finals or some of the big special events and stuff like that, and I sneak in and check on the kids.
Well, yeah,
Every
no,
once in a
that's you
while.
attending. So like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't. When's the last time you drove?
Oh,
one
drove
of
in
the
competition
events?
was it was on my 35th anniversary, 2017.
Okay, so yeah, we're only 5 years removed, and then
Yeah.
I mean, and Ryan has told us all about how he's 2 times the driver you ever were, and I mean a lot of that stuff or whatever he's talking about.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't have to have skill when I was driving. All I had to be was just brave and hope the equipment stayed together.
Well, and that's like what I told Ryan is that's to say as a spectator and viewing it, it's like it started to go through this lull. Like there was all the cool stuff when you were doing it initially, and then all that, and it kind of got in this lull, and then all of a sudden backflips and all this other freestyle
Yeah.
stuff came in, and it's like a whole
It was time.
new
It
thing.
was.
It's
It was time for a
It's like-
change.
Yeah, and to me, like from me thinking, oh, I can get in one of those things and drive it to be fun or whatever to go drive it, and then now to look at what they're doing, it's like, yeah, I can't do that. Like, I mean, it's just
Right.
it just looks so
I know it, man.
crazy, and like how they'll do that, and that's obviously when I was in the back garage talking to the engine, I'm like, how do you keep the oil in? Because that's my big thing or whatever. It's like, I mean, just being
Yeah,
mechanical. I'm like, that's what I always worry about. When this thing's flipping over and all this stuff, like, where's all the oil going? Like, how are you doing it? So, I mean, he went through the baffle and stuff in there, but then Ryan said, hey, light on the dash, that hey, when that oil press is going on, it lets you know that, hey, get off the nose or whatever, so that
Yeah.
you get some oil back in there.
Right.
So,
And the accumulator to me is one of the biggest saviors. Plus, when you're doing tricks and you're balancing and using your skills, you're not using RPMs. You're just kind of hopping back and forth a little bit. And not until you get ready to do a sidewall save.
Right.
That's when you're just buzzing the motor $8,000, and it doesn't like that, I can guarantee you, because that the AccuSump doesn't last, but just a little
Yeah,
bit.
he said it holds 3/4. So
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's like there's a lot of crappy LSs that GM built, like the LS2 and stuff like that we automatically run an accumulator in a 1/4, even on a street car, because they're known just to lose oil pressure for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
So we run an accumulator on those just to save it in those instances.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm like 3/4 isn't going to last very long, but I guess at a low RPM it can last a lot longer.
Yeah,
So
it
pump
does.
3/4
Yeah,
through it,
if
so.
you're just, from a high idle, you'd be surprised how long your motor will run without any oil, the oil pump picking up anything.
Oh yeah,
Just
no,
because
I've-
of the bearings being wet.
Yep. Yeah. No, I've ran motors without oil for a little
Yeah,
while
yeah.
before. So, but I guess I didn't even talk to them about the fuel cell. I guess I didn't really even think about that too. There's like keeping the sump wet, like for
Yeah,
the fuel
yeah.
cell, and just not running it
Yeah,
down.
well, basically, it doesn't. When it's up on its nose, we've got the fuel cells in the back of the truck, so it's kind of standing up, and it's got enough fuel in it. It actually has got more fuel flow standing on its nose than it does, any other way, because we've got them. We've got the pickups in the back, and sometimes we put them off to the side because we've had them so that if you put them in the center of the tank, sometimes the guys would tear a truck down, refurbish it, or do some work, put the fuel cell in backwards, not even thinking about any big deal, and they'll go out and it's like and go into a donut, and they're like, God, man, this thing's driving us crazy, and we have EFI on them, so they're like, oh God, what is it? Fuel pump. They, calling Richard, calling everybody. They'll call me and go, hey, D, man, we're working on it. Well, what do you think, man? This is every time he gets into a donut, I'm like, dude, you're losing fuel. That's all it is, too. They said it'll fire back up, But anyway, it happened to him twice. The first time it happened, and then the second group that called me, already said, which way is your fuel cell? Is you pick up to the back or the front? And so they were like, no, it's up to the front of the tank. And I said, closer to the bell housing? Yeah, I said, well, turn the fuel cell around, because that's what's wrong. So I put the fuel cell in backwards. But anyhow, and you'd have to swing it hard, but in a donut, it'll take it away. Yeah. Same thing with the oil, really.
Cool. Well, no, appreciate having us out to walk around. And then
Yeah,
when
man.
is the museum going to open?
I am going to do like a little soft opening. I'm going to try to have it open for my big Easter egg hunt that we're going to have here on the 8th, on April the 8th. And it's really, and sometimes I don't even really want to call it a museum. I'm just calling it kind of a rust in peace walk back in time.
A rust in peace.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's my Rust in Peace Museum, and that's how it's labeled. Okay. And the reason that I labeled it Rust in Peace is because I don't have to fix up all the trucks. Because I threw all of these things away, It's like through my career, I never had the showpiece. Like, I'm going to keep this one for a museum one day. I would tear off all the good parts, kick it out the door, throw it out back. This truck had a tree growing up through the back of it, and in the engine compartment, a gum tree grew out the back of it, and we cut it out, and people kept trying to sneak back in my junkyard. So I wanted digging through my dirty laundry back there.
Right.
So I put it out, and that's when I used to live in the brick house here. So I pulled it out in the front yard, and then we made this graveyard scene, and we called it Grandma Rust in Peace. And so that's why it's so rusty, and it just sat out forever. Because there was no room for these trucks in my building, when I had 6 monster truck teams go.
Right.
But anyway, that's why I call it Rust in Peace.
Gotcha. No, and
Yeah.
and like I said, when I came before, literally it was, these doors were open and there was trucks in here and everybody
Yeah.
working on the trucks,
Yeah.
getting ready to go, and then there was all kinds of rigs out back.
And
ready
this
to go.
that whole center shop right there, that's when we changed. We used to fab all the chassis in this one bay here. Then we ended up with, a half of that building fabbing chassis, and we built, I think, about 100 and something chassis a year, 100 and something trucks. Well, we had a big crew of people here too then, and then they moved everything to the global headquarters, kind of done a little switcheroo with Monster Jam, and then we just got left standing here on the property with a few trucks, and I'm still playing trucks and still a part of it with the kids anyway.
No, that's what's cool.
Yeah.
All right, folks, as a wrap up to the video, there is a lot more Gravedigger stuff, Dennis Anderson stuff, and then Ryan takes us through the shop. So we're going to continue that. Everybody always races by our shop. I don't know why, but so that'll be continued in the next video. But the other is we still have the Tahoe. So Rick took the cash. So you saw the Rick experience. We picked him up from the airport. We took him around. He hung out with us for a couple days. We want to do the same thing with a good trade for the Tahoe. So where you bring it in town to us, if we agree on a trade, we'll let you hang out with us. Yeah, that's not really that much of a privilege, but we will make you hang out with us for a day or whatever. So a life in the day of sick, and then you'll get to drive this bad boy home. So what do you got? We want to trade something, so hit us up with that, and then the other will continue Dennis saying, because there's a lot of great information in there, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool history of everything that Ryan everybody takes me through, but there's a lot of it. So we're going to run that as another video of that, so look for that coming out here in the next few days. So thanks for watching, guys.